Tonight I'm going to show you how to take apart, clean, relube, and then reassemble a headset on your mountain bike. There are actually a lot of different types of headsets. This one has loose bearings and is contained inside of a bearing race where it takes contact internally, and then a separate race goes on the outside and contacts this side right here. The process is very similar to other bearing systems, and those videos will be coming up soon, so please enjoy this one. Alright, so tools and materials that you need today are some grease. I'm using Finish Line Teflon grease. I have a little pair of tweezers here, and this is the cap right here. I usually put the old bearings here or new bearings. I have a bottle of isopropyl alcohol for cleanup later. I have a flathead screwdriver, and I also have 3/32 bearings in here. Usually a headset uses 3/16 or 5/32. So this will definitely help if your headset is really starting to feel crunchy inside. It may need new bearings. Unless you just check the bearings and races and see if they're fine, then you possibly don't need new bearings. One thing to note is that you always must have the right size of bearings. So this headset in particular uses, like I said, 3/32 bearings. Normally, in a typical more modern headset that uses caged bearings, uses 3/16 and above. Bearings can be as big as 5/32 to 7/32, mostly just to modify how stiff handling will be up there in your headset. But in this video, there really isn't nothing to worry about that. We're just replacing bearings and regreasing them. And like I said, process is almost the same as replacing bearings in other headsets. Alright, so I'm pretty sorry about the camera quality, but this is all the brightness you can get. So first you want to remove this little C-clip in there. It takes a while to pry it out. So it'll take you about 2 minutes or so just to do that. What I did is that I lifted one part of the C-clip up first, because there's a little split right here on the edge. So I lifted one of those parts up first, and then it just came out pretty easily. Alright, so now you're going to take out the cartridge like that. And as you can see, the bearings are just super rusted and crappy in there. So I might just replace those. Alright, so now I'm going to get a magnet and bust out these little bearings in there. Just like that. This is something I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video for tools and materials, but shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so make sure you get all the bearings out, because we're going to count these. I counted carefully and decided that there's 32 bearings inside of that cup. So I'm going to replace these because they're like covered in really rusty grease. So again, I'm going to put 32 of these new bearings inside of the cup. But first, I got to clean that thing out. So I have another rag here, and I'm going to spray that with the alcohol we mentioned earlier. And then I'm going to get the wet part of that rag of alcohol and just wipe that cup inside down pretty well. So now you want to clean up this little race right here. I'm going to douse it with alcohol like that, and then just spin it in the rag like so the old grease comes off as I rotate it. And make sure to clean these out thoroughly so that there's no like rocks or rough rust or anything like that. I'm going to spray this down again. There you go, nice and clean. And the race looks pretty good. It looks like there's no major gouges on it, so I'm going to reuse it. Now I'm going to put grease in this cup. Pretty easy. I get a dab of it right there and I just go around like so. And then I just drag it off my finger in little bits like that until it fills all up with fresh new grease. Fill it up generously and smooth out the grease like this so that when you install the bearings, they don't fall out. Now I'm going to install some bearings. So I smoothed out the grease on the surface so the air pockets would come out, and that way it'll be smoother when the system's all together. Alright, so I'm gonna get the race and put a coat of grease around the bearing surface like this. I'm gonna go all around like that. Just like this. And you don't have to be super generous with this one. As long as it has a coat of grease, then you're fine. So the race goes on first, like so. And then the C-ring is a securing device. So I'm going to put this on like this. So I'm going to squeeze it in like so. And then it should fit in just nicely in there. Alright, and then I'm going to get my rag. Spray the alcohol on it. Then clean up the surface like this, so that when you go mountain biking, there's no dust in the system, and it'll work smoothly all day in and day out. Alright, that's pretty much it. Just give it a few test spins, let the grease leak out a little bit, and if you decide that it's smooth enough, doesn't need any more replacement or adjustment, leave it alone until it needs new grease and bearings. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And have a good day.